Hello and welcome to another planning appeal case study video. I'm John Peters, and in this video I'm going to explain how we overcame a recent refusal by Gosport Council for one of our clients. This planning appeal was to overcome the refusal of a rear extension to form accommodation within the roof that was refused by the local authority Gosport Planning Department. Our client was initially booked in for a free no obligation consultation to run through the refusal reasons that had been used by Gosport Council and to evaluate if an appeal was viable or if an alternative option would be best suited. The free no obligation consultation, which took around 15 minutes, found that this case was viable for appeal to the Planning Inspectorate, taking the decision away from Gosport Planning Department. This case was refused by Gosport for the following reasons. The proposed extension would, by reason of its excessive depth, scale, bulk, massing and unsympathetic siting in close proximity to the boundaries, appear as an overbearing development which would result in harmful and unneighbourly sense of enclosure, loss of outlook, light, detrimental to the residential amenities of the occupiers of the adjacent dwellings. This is yet again another subjective opinion decision, the type that should always be appealed. It is not unusual for us to find a number of errors in local authority planning officers' decisions. These errors do help support the appeal cases. We do suspect the increase in these errors has been caused by cutbacks by local authorities and unprecedented increase in workloads that are piled on the reduced numbers of planning officers. Many of you are repeatedly stating to us during your no obligation planning appeal assessment that you had little or no correspondence throughout the application process, and the first thing they knew was receiving a refusal notice from the council, and in some cases when you received a letter from ourselves. With planning appeals, experience matters. Our specialist appeal team, who handle over 2.5% of all planning appeals in England and Wales that are currently produced and submitted, start by producing a comprehensive and robust appeal statement that in this specific case covers 19 pages, just over 3,900 words. And it is important to detail in the appeal statement where the local authority failed in their assessment of the case, and how and where possible both local and national policy applies in favour of the appeal. Additionally, if possible, bringing in similar cases that the Planning Inspectorate found in favour of at the appeal. Obviously, with the back catalogue we have of wins, we're able to use these wins and what the inspector said in them as additional argument support the case we are working on. Recently, we had a client state that the competitor had said to them that they use our wins to help them produce appeals. I suppose that's a compliment to our team. But obviously, with that method, it does not give them the underlying knowledge to be able to adapt arguments to specific cases. It is important to know that no two cases are the same and the arguments need to be produced for the specific case in hand. Once an appeal statement is completed, we send the document to our client, asking them to check that they are happy for us to submit the case. If we need to add any additional information that the client may have forgotten previously to supply, it's done at this point, and then the case is submitted to the Inspectorate. It's vitally important that all documents and responses are submitted on time throughout the process, as failure to do so will result in an appeal not being successful, something we hear about often when people attempt an appeal for the first time. Always ensure you use professionals who have considerable experience of appeals. It is worth asking them for some recent successful planning appeal case studies like you find on our website. Due to the large number of cases we represent, we have a dedicated team that liaises with the Planning Inspectorate on a daily basis. For this appeal, an independent planning inspector from the Planning Inspectorate visited the site, and we are pleased to confirm that the appeal was upheld and the permission was granted on the 13th of February in a 2-page appeal decision. If you'd like to find out if we can help you with your planning appeal, complete our online form on our website www.planningappealsuk.com, and our new case support team will arrange for a free no obligation consultation with one of our planning appeal assessment professionals. Would you like to find an appeal case study for a certain type of application or even in a selected area? We have so many, not all of them are published or filmed, but it does not mean that we can't show you what you're looking for. Ask our planning appeal assessment professional during your free no obligation consultation. Thank you for taking the time to watch this planning appeal case study video, and I look forward to producing another one very shortly. Thanks a lot. Bye.